Hello everyone, it's Nadine. Today we'll be testing out the Huda Naughty palette. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. Oh, my succulent little celery stalks, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world, you are having a fantastic day so far. I myself am doing absolutely wonderful. It's another spectacularly gorgeous day outside, but it's very nipply out there, so I'm gonna enjoy it from the inside. And if I'm indoors, I may as well smear some good old-fashioned makeup shit all over my face, and this little baby just happened to arrive on my doorstep. I will admit, this is kind of a brand that I've had to kind of steer away from on my channel. This is what we like to call a problematic brand, which for me, the people behind the brand really don't affect the products. We're here to judge the products. However, this brand has copied smaller brands almost identically, and I don't like that. Being a small independent company myself, it's always a huge ass fear for a bigger brand to come scoop up your product and claim it as their own. Whether it's promo pictures, whether it's the actual product itself, I do not fucking stand for that. But then every once in a great while, they do launch products that are completely different than a lot of things that I've seen, and there was one specific shadow in this palette that everybody said kind of looked like an STD, so of course I had to get it. Otherwise, I don't really know much about this product. I don't even remember how much it was because Drunk Nady struck again and ordered this. So let's hop our little testes over to C4Ha and check this out. Oh god, I made some like immune system boosting tea. It tastes like the breast milk of Medusa. It's nasty. It looks like this palette retails for $67. Are you fucking with me? Oh shit. $67. That is a ballsy ass move. That's like Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath prices. Based off the quality of the other eye products that I've tried from this brand, that price does not make sense. But maybe the product actually is good and worth that price? I mean, ooh though. It looks like this has about 4 out of 5 stars. Let's go ahead and read some of the reviews starting from lowest to highest, and maybe we can get some tips and tricks to make this work the best for us. Starting with the 1-star reviews, they say it's underwhelming. They are not impressed at all. They have a lot of Huda Beauté palettes, and the last 3 collections that came out really disappointed them. Fallout and texture of the glitter and shimmers is ridiculous. The mattes are good, but nothing new. This person says don't waste your money. Chunks fall out onto your cheeks and ruin your makeup. They received their palette and the shades look nothing like they do as advertised. Oh, this person has the shadow slippery and it's like black and it just looks like somebody threw nerds in it. This other person's slippery looks very, very different. It's green and kind of infected looking. The 5-star reviews say it's lovely, effortless to blend, lasted all day. A very sexy color story, shadows blend like a dream. The people with the 5-star review, their slippery STD shadow looks completely different than the people with the 1-star reviews, so that kind of makes me wonder which version we'll get. The colors are absolutely stunning, hands down one of Huda's best palettes. What does Sephora describe this as? They say it's a versatile palette with 18 shades and 5 ultra wearable textures to create dramatic smoky eyes as well as a variety of natural and sultry looks. I guess this has mattes, shine metallics, luxe multi-reflective marble creams, marble to matte cream, and 1 shimmering gloss hybrid. I don't know, I'm quite intrigued. This does just have like a plastic encapsulation. It has the ingredient list on the back of the plastic, and then you get this little guy right here. Okay, not that this is a big issue or anything, but for $70, I should not have a crooked ass label on the back. It's not like that shit really matters, but this to me is like a luxury price tag. This should look fucking luxury. Otherwise, it feels nice. Like, it looks cute, feels pretty sturdy. Let's go ahead and open this baby up. Oh, okay, so my little gel guy looks completely different than any of the other pictures in there. This is literally just a clear gloss with, like I said before, the nerds thrown in there. I don't quite get the point of that. See, and online, this looks way fucking different. This is the shadow I'm talking about. It looks like something my 5-year-old niece would make, like trying to make slime. And I'll go ahead and place a picture of what it's supposed to look like, I guess, right on the screen, and there's clearly a big difference. All I see is the pan and whatever the fuck those bead things are. It's interesting. Kind of a letdown. I mean, it does still look pretty cool, especially these marble things, but I do not think this looks like an almost $70 palette. Desire on the Sephora website also looks quite different than how it is in person. This looks like a normal basic ass shimmer, but online it has like flecks of blue, deep red, like pink, and this is not that. Also, spicy online looks like a deep kind of like prune color, and this does not look like that. Not sure how it looks on camera, but it just looks like a purplish brown, and then Untamed looks way more vibrant online. It does look kind of neat. I don't know how well you'll be able to see those. They are interesting, but just kind of weird. Not even like a good weird. They remind me of rugs that you'd put in a college dormitory. Let me go ahead and feel a couple of these before we do like actual swatches. First, of course, I have to try Slippery. Huh. I don't get what the fuck the point of that is, because you get two different colors when you swatch it. You get the pink and the bronze, and then it's just like gloopy gloss. Like, are you supposed to put it on your lips or something? I just put it right there. Ooh, that does feel quite nice on the lips. That kind of tastes like vanilla. But their swatches on the website make this look like it's an actual eyeshadow. It does look a lot better on camera, I think, than it does in person. Here's what it looks like swatched. It just is there. It kind of reminds me of like those lip gloss singles that you get at Dollar Tree, where you have to rub your finger all over it and then apply it. Literally, what the fuck is the point of that? Okay, well, let's feel a couple of these. I want to try feeling Passion. It looks quite interesting. Huh. All right, that's really unique. And then let's also try Desire. Ooh, that feels really cool and hella pigmented. And then lastly, let's try Flower Power. Wow, I mean, the pigmentation and quality does feel very, very good. They're extra, extra creamy. Wow, that feels lovely. Huh, okay, well, now I kind of am super fucking excited for these. I didn't swatch any of the mattes there. They were all the shimmers, so maybe this palette does suck. Shimmers to me are like a dime a dozen. Anybody can make them and make them well. But if a palette has good mattes, that to me is what sells it. So let's go ahead and swatch and do a look with this bitch. You guys know the song. Are you ready? It's swatching time. And here we have Filthy Through Spicy, and honestly, these just swatched okay. They look pretty, yes. I think the shimmers are kind of the star of the show here, and once they're swatched, they really aren't that unique. They look more interesting in the pan before they're swatched, and then once you apply them, they're kind of like any other shimmer out there. The mattes, at least when swatched, are good, but they aren't anything special, especially Spicy right here. It is hella splotchy. It might need a primer to go on, that's totally fair. Swatches really don't mean jack shit. It's how they perform on the eye, but so far, am I impressed or happy with this price? Not really. And here we have the rest of the shadows. Some of the shimmers truly are beautiful and stunning and extremely creamy, but then the mattes, they just seem very inconsistent. And I have to have an incredibly unique and groundbreaking shimmer to cancel out bad mattes. Not that these are bad mattes, but they just don't seem like that great. In fact, nothing in this palette has really seemed that great. Like, this gloss to me is kind of pointless. Maybe it would look cool over a shadow. I don't know. I do really like these last few shimmers right here, but this one keeps falling off my hand. I can see it flying around the room. This one, though, is extremely buttery and creamy and very, very pretty. And I'm hoping that once I actually put these on my eyes and use them with brushes, my opinion will kind of change, but I kind of feel as though the designs in these shimmers and this gloss kind of sold this palette. And I'm realizing that maybe it was kind of a gimmick. Literally, the only shadow in here that made me want to buy this online was Slippery, this gloss. And now that I have this in person, it is very uninteresting. It's kind of displeasing and just not satisfying, because I know for a fact that I probably have every single one of these shadows elsewhere in my collection. They might not have the swirly marbled effect, but once you swipe them, they kind of turn into something that I do have. But I am always hopeful that this could turn around and maybe this will be an awesome palette. So let's go ahead and dive into a look. All right, my foundation and concealer is on. Please don't judge me. The shade match is terrible. I know I look like a sunburned pretzel, but we will continue with this look and act like this never happened. Oh my God. Do we see the color difference? Fuck me. All right, to prime the eyes, I'm gonna go in with my all-time favorite Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas. My God, my primer is even lighter than my foundation. And then remembering what they said in the comments that this does have a lot of fallout, I'm gonna take some Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and really pack it on under my eyes so I don't ruin this foundation. Not really sure how it could get much worse. I mean, oh God, the color is just, oh. I mean, people who actually have this skin color, it probably looks beautiful on it and it's such a beautiful tone, but like on my pale ass, nay, I say. And because this palette is a little bit on the large fluffy side, let's go ahead and do two different looks, starting with this side, and let's dip into Filthy. And with that, I'm just gonna take that back and forth all along the crease line. If you watch my videos, you can almost guarantee that I'm gonna start every look by saying, let's blend it on the crease line back and forth. And that looks okay, even though it is the slightest bit kind of like ashy and splotchy. That's interesting. Let me go in with a little bit more and try to build it up. This to me is a very common color, and more often than not, it's not splotchy. And so to come across one that is splotchy is kind of rare. I kind of feel like we have a lot of these shadows in the Melt She's in Parties palette. However, once you do really build this up, it does look gorgeous. This is with 3 dips in, and it blends out fairly effortlessly. And so if you're the kind of person that doesn't like super duper pigmented shadows and you like to be able to build shit up, this palette might be good for you. And I don't think I want to cut the crease on this side. I think if we do use a shimmer, I'll end up just packing it on with my finger to see how it sticks. But I do still want to create a nice dark transition, so let's go in with the next deepest purpley shade, Untamed. And with this shadow, I think I want to place it all on the lid and start kind of packing it on and then blend it up the crease line, which this is a beautiful shade, but once again, it's the slightest bit patchy. Like, it's not terrible, but I definitely feel as though I have better shades that are probably this exact same color. Like, I don't know if you can see the patchiness, but I've tried blending this out. I think I'm just gonna have to go in with a little bit more, so let's pack some more on. It really is a stunning color, but so far, I'm really not that impressed with the quality, but there is time to turn that thought around. And maybe that shadow just needed packed on a little bit more, because with 2 dips, I think this looks great. The patchiness, though it is still there slightly, it's not as obvious, but also for $70, I feel like there should be no patchiness at all in any of the shadows. And if we're being totally real here, which we always fucking are, this shadow isn't that uncommon, and it's really not that hard of a shadow to make. Like, you can get really, really good ones that are perfect. Still though, it's very pretty. It just needs a good bit of finessing. So there's that shadow. Once you get past the splotchiness, it is pretty easy to blend out once you keep packing it on. And I thought for sure with the amount that I packed on, there would definitely be some fallout under the eyes, but there is nothing. Even when I dip into the pan, there's very little kickback, and whatever kickback is in there, it stays inside the little pan. So if you're the kind of person like me that likes to put your foundation on before your eyeshadow, this might be a good palette for you. I mean, that in itself isn't reason enough to go spend $70 on this, but that is one of the perks. I'm kind of grasping for straws here. Next, I'm gonna deepen up the outer corner with some Spicy, and we'll place that right there, and I'm just gonna start by tapping it on. Hopefully there's a big enough variation between that last color and this color that we can see the difference between the two, which maybe not. Let me go in with a little bit more. I'm gonna kind of push that into the eye socket just like that. Oh, I mean, that does look pretty together, doesn't it? If you can even tell the difference between the two. I mean, I can't really, but maybe what you're seeing is completely different. Well, all right. I think with some of that Spicy, I'm gonna start blending out the lower lash before I apply any shimmers. I think I actually prefer that darker shade because they both do look very, very similar, and if I were to use one, I'd rather use Spicy. Spicy kind of seemed to lack the splotchiness that Untamed has, so why even bother using it? Maybe for some people with different applications, there is a big difference between the two shadows, but I didn't notice that much of one. But I do really like that color. Like, that is a great one and done kind of color, because you can take just a fluffy brush and blend those edges out, and it kind of transforms into that shade that we put on before this, and then you can just pack a little bit more on, and it looks like 2 completely different shadows. So for shits and giggles, right on the center of the eye, I'm gonna take some Passion, and this has a really dark kind of underbase to it, but then it also turns blue. Oh, I love that. Just that alone would be such a cool kind of like grunge glam. Then with a little bit of a provocative, I'm gonna take that right on the inner eye. Is that right there? Ooh, that's very pretty too. Ooh, God, that is a lot of fallout though. I am very glad that we put that powder down though, because that is a glittery fucking shit show down there. Maybe the shimmer would be better going directly onto like a damp concealer or even a glitter glue, but I like Passion way more than that other shimmer, so I'm just gonna apply that right over it and see how they layer up. Okay, so totally not the look that I thought I'd be creating, but I do still like it. Kinda wanna see if maybe I could even apply a little bit of Shameless, just to kind of brighten things up, because this got dark very, very quickly. Oh my, that is a chunky mama right there. And that too does have a lot of fallout, not as much as the other one though. This is doing a way better job at sticking, and it's combining with those other shimmers so nicely. I don't know how well you're able to see this look, but in person, it's very, very pretty, and it was so easy to get to this. I really do feel like I could have completely avoided using Untamed and just gone in with Filthy and Spicy and these shimmers, and I would be set. But there is quite a bit of shimmer down there. I don't know that you'll really even be able to see it. It's very, very micro fine. And since I did lay this powder down, I am absolutely positive that it'll just dust away. So for me, that's not that big of a deal. I'm much more worried about this foundation color than I am this fallout. I think I'm gonna leave this just like this for now. It's nothing special. It's extremely simple, but still kind of pretty, I guess. Just to make sure though, let me go ahead and dust this side off and see if we have anything stained. God, I just see glitter going everywhere. Other than what got caught on my moist primer right on my inner corner, everything dusted away. It looks pretty good. And so for this eye, I do kind of want to do like a wearable, simple glam, but I want to use the browns in here, so I'm gonna start with Hypnotic. And just like always, I'm gonna place that shit in the crease and blend it around. Ooh, that's a pretty color. I like the way it's applying way more than this Filthy one did. And usually the more like neutral nudie a tone is, the the easier it is to make, so I'm really not that surprised. But that's a really, really pretty color. It's going on and blending out so effortlessly. Then I'm gonna dip into rough, and I'm gonna take that on the inner and the outer corner and just swing it back and forth. And once again, that is a stunning color as well, although it does kind of want to blend out to be very, very similar as that shade that I used before. It is the slightest bit darker, but there's not that big of a transition between the two. And I did color switch this brush, so there was nothing left on it. Today is definitely going to be brush cleaning day because I'm kind of running low on clean brushes, but even though they are similar, both of those shades already I like way more than any of those purples that I used, which is interesting because the only other Huda Boutete palette that I actually have is like the purple amethyst palette, and so why wouldn't these purples be just as good as those purples? I am noticing with these browns though, if you really, really pack that second color on, it does look a bit different, but you have to go in with like 5 dips. Like, I mean, really pack the fuck out of this. But even if you do pack it on, it still blends out very nicely. Then I'm gonna go in with the deepest brown in here, which is Naughty. And with that, I'm gonna start on the inner eye and kind of pack it on the crease line and follow it out to the outer corner. Ooh, that's a really pretty color. Oh, I like that. So pretty much the brown tones that are in every fucking palette are the ones that work. I'm just gonna take a clean fluffy brush that has nothing on it and dust those edges out. And that color, it does look brown in the pan, but then once it's on the eye, it kind of deepens up and looks a bit purple. But you can keep building this shit up so much and still there is like very, very little fallout underneath my eye. And that color I think is so pretty, but it's also something that I know I have a ton of. And if the quality were something spectacular, then I'd be like, oh, I don't care that I have a ton of these, but the quality of this really isn't special. And I did kind of want to put one of these shimmers on here, but I'm really curious about Slippery. Like, what are we supposed to do with it? I guess let's try applying some of it onto the center of the eye. Oh God, it's just like picking up my other shadow. But I'll go in with a little bit more. Maybe this would be a really good base to lay a shimmer on because it is kind of sticky, but it's more so like an expensive Vaseline. But also at the same time, I kind of really like it because like once you tap it out, all you're left with is like a nice glossy sheen. I think I do like that. Oh God. Oh, it's weird on the eye. It feels like there's a glue stick on there. Or like lash glue and you get part of it stuck in your crease. Okay, so it looks really good. It's just not the most comfortable, at least on my eye. I'm sure somebody with a shit ton of lid space would probably be able to rock the fuck out of this, but I don't like this on its own, so why don't I pack some shimmers on there? Let's try a little bit of Tantric, and I'm gonna start with it on a brush. I might have to use my finger because it doesn't look like much is picking up. Ooh, that's really pretty, and it is doing a great job at sticking to the gloss or whatever the fuck that goop is. Instead, I'm gonna go in with my finger because there is not very much on that brush. Oh, that's nice. There is still a fuck ton of fallout, but I feel like that gel is really adhering the shadow. Maybe that's what it's there for. I don't fucking know. But I'm also gonna dip into this beautiful red Desire and place that on the outer corner and kind of work it in with that gold. That's nice. Oh, definitely not my favorite shimmers to work with, especially because you can now see exactly where I put that little gel. Like, it just fucking stops right there. But I do think that Slippery really helped foil that gold shadow. It doesn't feel uncomfortable or anything. I do like that name though, Slippery. It reminds me of a good lube. The glitter around me and on my jeans is like unreal. There is so much of it. And even when I just blow on my palette to get the excess dust off, it's like new glitter picks up. I don't even have to touch it. Gonna take a little bit of Please Me right on the outer corner as well because I don't love the way that red looks right now. And then I'm gonna finish up with a little bit more of Naughty on the outer corner, which I take that back. It just ended up taking off all of that shimmer. For the lower lash, I'm gonna smoke out a bit of a rough. And let's try some Arouse. Ooh, I love that name. Oh, that is a gorgeous shadow. Ooh. And then to tie the upper and the lower lash together, I'm gonna finish off with some Naughty right in between the lashes. And then before I finish this look up off camera, let me dust this away and see if we have any little sparkle remnants, which we do not. I am not unhappy with that. Meaning I'm not unhappy that there's no fallout left. I don't know that I'm happy with the shadow. Oh my God, there's glitter in my eye and I can feel it floating around. It's like Tom Hanks out to sea in my eyeball. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my look off camera, do a wear time test. I will see you in just a second. And we are back. It's been a few hours and I think I'm ready to take this off. Oh my God, I do really like these looks though. They were quite easy to create. However, pretty much the whole time that I've had this on, I have had to keep wiping my under eyes because glitter keeps falling down. and I see little glitter flecks flying around here and there, and I actually kind of feel it in my eyes. I did apply quite a bit of shimmer onto my lid, so I really can't fault it, but I have also applied a lot of other shimmers to my eyes from other palettes and didn't have this problem. Oh fuck, my lash is coming off. We can ignore it. We're almost done. Other than the glitter flecks everywhere though, I've not noticed any kind of fading. They're not uncomfortable on the eyeballs, like they're not tired. And so, do I recommend this palette? Ooh, honestly, I don't think this palette is worth the price because the purples I wasn't really impressed with, and the purples kind of make up half the palette. The brown shadows, they are nice, but they're no better quality than any other palette. They certainly don't justify the price tag, nor do the shimmers. I think what really sells people on this palette is how it looks before you swatch it, because the moment you swatch it, this does become a fucking shit show. Like, all the marbling in there just becomes destroyed, and it just becomes yet another purplish brown palette. Yeah, some of the shimmers are somewhat unique. I do kind of like the marbling, but you never really know what color you're gonna get. I did actually end up enjoying Slippery because I feel like it really helped adhere that shimmer, but none of that justifies this price tag. It's nothing that couldn't be duped very, very inexpensively. And shadows in a palette for this price should not blend out to be very, very similar or the same. And so if it speaks to you, I guess, yeah, I recommend it, but personally, I really don't, nor do I think it's worth the price. I do have palettes from them that are decent in quality, much better than this, so if you're wanting to buy one of their products for the first time, I wouldn't start with this because you probably won't have the best taste in your mouth unless you lick that Slippery shade, because it actually did taste kind of good. But to me, it's just very meh. I might be a little more keen on it if the price were like cut in half, but no part of this other than how it looks before you even dip into it justifies the price. The looks though, I do think were very pretty. They were very easy to achieve, so if you want looks like this, honestly, I still say look elsewhere. It's not the worst palette, it's not the best palette, it's just kind of like somewhere in the middle, yet with like a borderline luxury price tag. But if that price tag doesn't bug you at all and it does intrigue you, fucking grab it. Even if it's just to see how your little jelly shadow turned out, because it seems like everybody's is kind of different. But yes, there we go. Thank you all so much for being here. I love having you. And if you'd like to support me and my channel a little bit more, please feel free to join us on Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. There you get videos a day early, you get Patreon only content, plus best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy, just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, is available at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!